Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Coming up on this show, ground is broken on a beautiful new park in Ward 4, and we show you how local officials stay prepared for major emergencies here in Las Vegas. Here to talk about these stories and more is the councilman who represents Ward 4. You know who it is, Mr. Stavros Anthony. Welcome back to the show.
Great to be here. Talking about
see
some great stuff happening in Ward 4, and like you mentioned, the park. So the city is always trying to make things better for our residents in the city of Las Vegas.
Absolutely. You work very hard at that. All of your colleagues do as well. We have a packed show today, so let's jump right in.
Yeah.
If you don't know where Ward 4 is located, first we'll give you some bearings here. It's right there where that 4 is. It's basically west of 95, north of Summerlin Parkway, basically south of Ann Road, roughly. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you are represented by Councilman Stavros Anthony, who has been on the city council now for 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
Yep,
in my third term, and it's been a great experience, and it's just great helping neighbors, helping our neighborhoods.
Yep. You work very hard at that. The rules are, in Nevada, term limits are 12 years, 3 terms, so Councilman is on the last 2 years of his term. So you're still getting a lot done. You know, even though you're kind of at the end of your time on the city council, there's still a ton going on. Case in point, Tregono Hills Park. This is exciting. We had a groundbreaking for this. It took place on February 28th, and it's called Tregono Hills because that's the Greek word for triangle, and the park's kind of triangle-shaped, right?
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. The fastest growing part of the city of Las Vegas is west of 215, and this area up in Cliff Shadows, you can see it's right up against the mountain. They don't have a park out there, so they have to cross 215.
Yeah.
And we finally we got the property, we received the funding. We actually reached out to the neighborhood about a year ago to find out what they want in the park. You saw the design. Most of that was
came from the neighbors.
Came from the neighbors. And then the last thing was naming the park. So we sent out mailers to all the residents.
Right.
So we got lots of different names, but the one that seemed the most interesting was somebody who knew my Greek heritage and happened to notice it was a triangle park, which I don't think many people actually noticed. And Googled, if you Google triangle, and ask for the Greek interpretation, it comes out Trigono. So I thought that was awesome. We added hills to it, Tregono Hills Park. The Parks and Rec Commission approved it. The City Council approved it. So we had a great groundbreaking. It was exciting. And we're going to have a ribbon cutting about a year from now. And people can have a place to walk their dogs and take their kids and exercise.
It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be a great park.
And it's up against the mountain. You can't build behind it. So Tregono Hills Park, we'll probably put something out there just to let people know what Tregono means, but the word's already getting around pretty quickly. But I'm really proud to be able to do this for the residents that live up in the Cliff Shadows neighborhood.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before, but your parents are from the island of Cyprus, Greek Cypriots, moved to the United States, emigrated here, raised a family, did very well, and they got a son now who's a city councilman in Las Vegas and done very well. He kind of lived the American dream. So.
And if you, most people watched my big fat Greek wedding, the dad in there says all American words come from a Greek root. So we've just added to that movie there.
Exactly.
So,
and we're learning that, we know the word for triangle now too. So good stuff. Well, Councilman, we love when new things come into your ward, not just parks, but new businesses as well. This was awesome. TR Realty is a new business out in Ward 4. They're along Cheyenne at 8900, the 8900 block of Cheyenne. And welcome to the neighborhood, folks. We love when new businesses open up. It's a sign of the economy staying strong.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about it is businesses are opening up today compared to 10 years ago when they weren't. Today, TR Realty, I think they have over 100 realtors.
Wow.
So that's a new office in Ward 4. They're putting people to work, and that's really what the city of Las Vegas, I think, does a great job of. We support small businesses expanding, opening up a new branch, and I'm just honored to be able to go out there and welcome them to the city of Las Vegas, thank them for opening up a new branch, putting people to work, and obviously we need realtors because the housing market is doing very well today. So TR Realty, welcome to Ward 4 and welcome to the city of Las Vegas, and thanks for putting people to work.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out there and picking Ward 4, picking an office right in the city of Las Vegas. We appreciate that all the way around.
And they're right there at Cheyenne and Fort Apache area.
So, very good. If you need to try to find them, there they are. Speaking of realtors, Councilman, love this. You posted this on social media. On Facebook, you said, honored to be a guest speaker for the Greater Las Vegas Real Estate Association Leadership Academy. Great group of realtors. Now, tell us about this gathering. What was the purpose here, and what were they doing that day?
So the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors represents all the realtors in Southern Nevada. They have a leadership academy where they realtors who feel like they want to be or should be leaders in our community when it comes to the real estate occupation. They go through this leadership academy, and they invited myself and Mayor Marsh from Henderson and Scott Black from North Las Vegas as one of their classes on local government, how local government interacts with realtors, and it's a multi-week long leadership academy, but that's one of the segments. So I am honored that they invited me to come down, and I tell you what, they were paying attention. They were asking some great questions.
So you're going to say, what were they asking? What were some of the questions you heard?
Well, I tell you, one of the questions that they asked is, well, how can the realtors and the city of Las Vegas or the city council work together? And I explained to them, you've heard of this, the broken windows theory.
Right.
Where if somebody breaks a window in a neighborhood and they don't fix it, it shows that the neighbors don't care and things start to go downhill.
It's kind of on decline,
So you fix the window right away, and that shows that you do care about the neighborhood. So I asked the realtors, you can be the eyes and ears for the city of Las Vegas. When you see little things out there, shopping carts, graffiti, broken windows,
let us know.
Decaying neighborhood, let us know so we can come out there and fix it. And that's good for the people that live there, and it's really good for the real estate industry because it keeps up the value of homes, and they make more money on commissions when they sell houses. So that was a great question, and I saw them writing notes. I think they're going to pay attention to that. But it was a good conversation to let them know that cities and city councils and mayors want to work with realtors to make Southern Nevada a great place to live and a great place to work. So it was a good place to get some back and forth.
Awesome. They were in their new facility, I think you were saying too, out there, right?
Yeah, they the GLVAR just built a brand new facility at Rainbow and 215. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. They have lots of training rooms in there. They've really focused a lot on training their realtors to know exactly what the services are that are available for the people that they represent.
That's
so hats off to them for making the real estate occupation here in Southern Nevada first class, best in the country, and they really take it seriously. And there must have been 100 people in the leadership class.
It looked like it was a big turnout.
Quite a few, and we had a great time at the end with a big picture like you saw there. They were very excited to meet us and talk with us, and hats off to them for doing it.
Awesome. Well, Councilman of the City Council, you wear many different hats. One of those is you're the city's representative on the National League of Cities here at the City of Las Vegas. And you posted this on Facebook recently. You said, with Chief Rossler of the Fairfax County Police Department talking about his presentation on first responder post-traumatic stress disorder. Such a key thing. We saw a lot of that following October 1 here in Las Vegas. First responders, a lot of us in the community experienced post-traumatic stress following the event. But law enforcement, first responders, they're on the front line. They see everything firsthand. They have to deal with it, even touch it, and it can be tough. It can be tough to deal with.
I tell you, I was honored to be put on the Public Safety and Crime Prevention Steering Committee for the National League of Cities. I went back to the meeting in Washington, D.C., and that's where I met Chief Rossler, and he gave a outstanding presentation about what that police department is doing when it comes to law enforcement officers committing suicide. And we're starting to see an increase in that because the job is so stressful and so dynamic, and the things that they see are just incredible, and 1 October is one of those. So I'm going to bring that information back here and see if we can implement some programs to help officers when they're going through some tough times, so we can help them through that instead of resorting to suicide. We do not want that to happen. So and I received some great information back there. So It's great to deal with cities. All the cities that were on this committee were very interested in supporting their law enforcement officers, and I know that's a big deal here at the City of Las Vegas, whether it's Metro officers or corrections officers, our firefighters, our deputy marshals here at the City of Las Vegas. It's a tough job, and it's just, some of it is so traumatic. It's some things go through your mind, and we want to stop that.
Right. Yep. In fact, our fire department and our Department of Public Safety here have counselors designated to talk with our first responders to help them deal with not just October 1, but the things they see on a regular basis, where it could be a traumatic fire, accidents, whatever it might be.
Right, and Metro does have a police employee assistance program. They've had it for many, many years, but just bring back new information, some things that other police departments are doing, integrate some of it, just make things better for everybody.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that we talked a lot about following October 1 is it's normal to feel a lot of emotion and stress following those incidents. Really important, if it continues, that you talk with someone. That's really, really important. The counselors are out there. EAP, employee assistance programs, virtually all organizations have them. There's help out there, so you should reach out if you're struggling with that.
Yeah, and they actually talked about that, and they acknowledged that first responders usually try to keep things inside. They don't like sharing it. They like to just keep the information inside what they see. They don't, but we have to get them to talk about it, and that is such a huge deal, to get them to talk with counselors or other professionals, other law enforcement officers. That was one of the key ingredients, is to get it out there and start discussing it and what impact it's having on your marriage, on your family life. But again, the goal is to eliminate suicides in first responder occupations.
Feeling stressed, boy, reach out. There's help out there for sure. Councilman, speaking of law enforcement, this was great. You posted this on social media. I loved it. Our great City of Las Vegas Director, Jerry Walker, receiving Citizen of the Month from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and a certificate of recognition from Councilwoman Michelle Fiore and myself. This is great. Jerry is our director of the Department of Operations and Maintenance, does a lot of stuff for the city, his department. That's Jerry being recognized by Metro that night.
Yeah, I mean, we have up in the Northwest, myself and Councilwoman Fiore have a great partnership with the Northwest Area Command. They're the ones that police the West and the Northwest, and some things are strictly law enforcement. Other things, you need partners. You need the City of Las Vegas, and one of the things that we were having issues with were homeless people living in sewers and
drainage areas.
So we contacted Jerry Walker and said, hey, can you help us deal with this? I mean, the cops don't really know what to do, and we need some help. And he jumped all over it. It was a great partnership between Jerry and his people and Metro and our offices, and we were able to go through a lot of these drainage dishes where homeless people had just basically set up camp.
Yeah, it's so dangerous too when we get rainy weather. We've had such a rainy spring. People living in there, it can be death to people. They can literally be swept away.
Right. And he provided the resources that Metro really didn't have, and that's why they honored him. Metro, that was Metro's First Tuesday. If you haven't heard of that, please remember every first Tuesday of every month, each area command, the one we're talking about is Northwest, has an open house from about 7 to 9. They have a guest speaker or a guest topic, and that particular night it was packed. There must have been a couple hundred people in the room, in the academy training room, and they brought Jerry Walker down and gave him this Citizen of the Month, which was absolutely awesome. And then Councilwoman Fiore gave him a certificate of recognition signed by the mayor and the entire city council. So. And he's a pretty quiet guy. He doesn't really ask for that stuff, doesn't look for it.
No, not at all.
He deserved it. But once he gets talking, he is really passionate about making sure the city is a great place to live. And he talks about fixing up our medians and painting walls and making sure when people drive around our city, they're proud to be in the city of Las Vegas.
He takes it seriously. He really does.
And he's done a great job for my ward up in Ward 4. He's when I explained to the people there that he was the one that fixed up the medians with the fake animals and the birds and stuff, he got a round of applause for that, because people actually love driving around Cheyenne and Rampart and seeing what he's done out
very
there. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Artistically, it's great. Doesn't use a lot of water. Doesn't use any water. It looks great and very water efficient. Perfect for our climate here in the desert. That's Jerry and his team put all that together. Yeah.
A lot of people thought I did that myself, but I take
you and I in our garages.
The only credit I take is I asked Jerry to look at it, and he got all the credit that night.
Good for him.
Jerry Walker.
I appreciate that. Well, good for you, Councilwoman Fiore. And then we saw Sasha Larkin, the captain out at the Northwest Area Command. She does a great job, great partner with the city, and I'm glad that she recognized Jerry most deserved. So, Councilman, this is great too. It's that time of year, baseball. It's back. So out at Doc Romeo Park, you posted this on Facebook. Great day for the opening of the Western Little League at Doc Romeo Park in Las Vegas. Honored to welcome all the kids, parents, coaches, and the board. This is kind of a tradition for you. You kind of help kick off the season each year out there.
You know, it's kind of funny. The last couple of months we've had rainstorms and thunderstorms and snowstorms, and that day was absolutely gorgeous.
We were bound to get one in there, right?
It was perfect for those kids, but this is really the kickoff of spring in the city of Las Vegas, the Western Little League opening ceremonies, and they're just so happy to be out there. The board is out there. Cliff is the president. And, they volunteer their time. The parents were there, coaches, the umpires, and it's all to take care of these kids and get them to learn baseball, but not just baseball.
It's play as a team,
teamwork and integrity and friendships and all the other character building that comes with being on a Little League team. So I asked them if any of them are going to be mayor or city council members, and some of them raised their hands. So we'll see how that works. But it was just a lot of fun to be out there with those kids.
Yeah, well, good luck. It's always a great thing. Western Little League's had some great success too, sending teams into the World Series, Little League World Series, and things like that over the years.
So. No, they've been around for a long time, and the kids grow up in that league, and a lot of them go off to high school and college. Absolutely.
We've got so many local guys who went on to the major leagues. Bryce Harper, just to name a few. They've really done very well, and so baseball's in our blood here, and we've got the credentials to show it. Got the people
and hats off to our parks people for keeping Doc Romeo, that facility, those baseball fields. They're absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I want to thank the city folks for doing that. They really appreciate what they do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Councilman, we should mention, if we're talking baseball, we could also talk soccer. We have some of the premier tournaments anywhere in the world take place right here. Mayor's Cup tournaments. We have one in the fall, one in the spring. And recently, at the last city council meeting on March 20th, you recognized the local winners of the Mayor's Cup. Now, Councilman, I remember a few years ago, we might have one or two teams were the local winners. Now, how many did we have this year? Look at all these kids. These were the local winners of an international tournament, you guys.
Well, I tell you what, the tournament gets bigger every year. This year was 719 teams from around the world, including Argentina, Bolivia, and Brazil, just to name enough. There was probably 15 countries, and there were 16 teams from the city of Las Vegas that won their divisions, which is such a huge deal because they're playing
the world's
some of
best,
the best soccer players in the country and the world, and we bring them down, give them a certificate with their name on it, get them a picture in front of the city council.
Get them out of school for a little bit?
For a couple hours. I don't know, maybe they take the whole day off, I don't know, but just for a couple hours at City Hall. But the parents are down there, and the Downtown Soccer Club is a big partner with us, and they come down. But it's actually a lot of fun watching the parents because they're so proud of their kids and their team and their coaches, and it all culminates at Betty Wilson Soccer Complex in Ward 4. Yep, it's a great weekend, 2 times a year. But these are just incredibly talented soccer players, and these are kids that are going to go off to college.
Play soccer,
play in Major League Soccer. Absolutely, they will.
Well, it's impressive. Like I say, a few years ago when we would have these tournaments, 1 or 2 local teams might actually win it. But now, even though there's much more competition from all around the world, far more teams from international locations. We had a team from South Africa that participated this past year, a couple of them actually. All that said, we still had 16 local teams win. That's huge.
Yeah, that is.
It kind of tells you where soccer is in Las Vegas. Obviously, we've come a long way, so good stuff. Councilman, on a more serious note, we had a emergency exercise took place back on March 14th. Actually, it was a whole week of training, FEMA training, Federal Emergency Management training. It culminated with a drill where we had a mock drill. This was basically an event where it was a bad day. We had basically a terrorist-related incident that we had to work. But we operated our Emergency Operations Center, which you're seeing here, as well as our Joint Information Center, simulating what we would do if it were an actual emergency. And it's good practice. We practice on a regular basis and have really ever since September 11th, 2001.
It is absolutely critical we do this. And my 29 years at Metro, we did plenty of these, but you can't wait for an incident like this to occur, major incident, whether it's a terrorist attack or an explosion or something, and then all of a sudden get people together and expect them to do the right thing and perform. You have to practice. And I'll tell you, you mentioned it's a week long. There were a lot of people involved, and I was there on the last day watching. And people, including yourself, David, you were taking this stuff seriously. You were acting like it was an actual incident, not just role playing. You know that if something happens, you're going to be the guy. From a public relations perspective. So you were taking it seriously. Everybody down there was taking it seriously and learning from it. Some people made some mistakes and did some great jobs, but when you make a mistake, you get corrected and it won't happen the next time.
Exactly right.
These exercises are absolutely imperative, and I was glad to be part of it.
Well, and the best part too, Councilman, is that we bring in the next generation of people to work those incidents. So we always have a very good team of people ready at any time to respond, whether it's into the field or in the Emergency Operations Center or in the Joint Information Center whenever we need to. We saw that those things happen. October 1 was a perfect example. We had to be ready. And so we take it, like you said, we take it seriously because it could happen anytime.
Yeah,
so.
And you've been around for a while, so you kind of know what you're doing. But there were people down there, it was their first time. And they saw how crazy things can get. But if you practice this stuff, it will not be crazy. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing.
Following that training.
And following the training that they learned in the classroom. So hats off for the city to keep doing this and bringing in all the partners. There were people from all over Southern Nevada involved in it. And it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, good stuff. Glad we had an opportunity to do that. Thanks to FEMA for all the help on that. Councilman, this was great. May Elementary School, they had a career week out there. Speaking of figuring out what you're going to do with your life, look at you in the midst of all those kids there, helping them talk about all the possibilities. Their lives are all ahead of them. What do you want to do with your life? You're an open book.
Yeah, they brought me down. They wanted me to talk about my law enforcement experience in that career and my city council experience in that career. And every single question talked about law enforcement career. They weren't interested in the city council stuff.
Because they hear about that.
Yeah, so
tell us about being a cop.
But they were asking some great questions. These are some young kids, and they're already thinking about it. And Ernest May Elementary School is just putting a little grain in their head that one of these days they're going to be 25 years old.
Exactly right.
And they need a career. So I think a couple of them may be going into law enforcement, maybe a city council, who knows. But it was great interacting with them. Some great kids, very good questions, and I had a lot of fun there.
All right, good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff all the way around. Well, Councilman, we want to tell everybody you've got some events coming up. We want to make sure everyone is out there is aware of these. We're getting into that time of year. It's spring, so that means egg hunts, Easter egg hunts. You got one coming up April 5th. This is great. This is going to be out at the YMCA there at Durango Hills, the Durango Hills Y, 3521 North Durango. This is a great family event out there. We've got bunny hop races, egg toss, face painting, bounce house. It's a great celebration, and of course the Easter Bunny is going to be there. You can't miss if he's going to be there.
And it's all free.
Yeah,
come on out. It's all free. Your kids are going to have a great time.
Good stuff. That's going to be April 5th. And then you've got an event coming up April 8th. This is Coffee with a Cop. You do this on a regular basis, Councilman. This is an opportunity for the councilman, the police officers, the patrol, the neighborhood, just to meet with the residents over a cup of coffee, over something very informal. It takes place at the Cracked Egg, 7660 West Cheyenne, Suite 125 there. This is April 8th. That's a Monday. That morning.
So. Yeah, people come out. They want to have breakfast. A lot of them just want to chat and see how things are going and meet me and the officers that work that area, whether it's Metro or our deputy marshals. But some of them have actual issues that they want to talk about in their neighborhood. So
come on out.
Come on out. either one of those, be glad to have breakfast with you.
Perfect, perfect. Councilman, you have a shredding event. Speaking of keeping your records safe, this time of year people are doing their taxes. Don't keep those old forms around after the time you don't need them anymore. After 3 or 4 years, shred them. We're going to have an event, document shredding and drug disposal, Saturday, April 13th from 10 to noon at Desert Shores, 2500 Regatta Drive. You started these, and now every ward does them like 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, it's in Desert Shores, but everybody's invited
welcome.
to come out.
Yeah.
Again, it's free, and it is April 13th, right before tax day, so make sure you do your taxes before you shred all your documents.
Do the taxes, then shred them.
Exactly.
You got to keep for, what, 3 years, Councilman? And then you, after that, then you can shred them. So, Councilman, you got an event coming up April 27th. Again, this is going to be out at the Y again, Durango Hills. It's a Healthy Kids Day. This is pretty cool. This is an event basically to keep kids, kind of get them in the framework of just staying active and being healthy, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun events that the Y puts together for the kids, but there's also a lot of folks out there that have good information about your health, how to eat better, exercise better, lots of different things. So come on out. Again, it's free. You're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, April 27th. That's coming up. And then we want to tell everybody, too, this is a big deal. Cinco de Mayo this year, May 5th, is a Sunday. And once again, we're going to have a big free concert open to the public out at Centennial Hills Park. This is out actually in Ward 6.
Correct.
But it's where you and Councilwoman Fiore partner on this to invite everybody out. This is from 1 to 6:30 that day. And we've got a really big mariachi band coming out again. It's Mariachi Sol del Mexico. With Jose Hernandez, and they performed last year.
And they're absolutely awesome. They're one of the best mariachi bands in the country. Commissioner Kirkpatrick will be out there also. So myself, Councilman Fiore, Commissioner Kirkpatrick will be there. We'll have a lot of vendors coming out. Again, it's free of charge. You're going to have a great time. Bring yourself, bring the kids, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds good all the way around. Well, Councilman, we're about out of time, so we want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Anthony, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. You saw he did a lot on social media. You can also contact the councilman just by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is santhony@lasvegasnevada.gov. Good stuff.
Yeah, lots of things happening, and we're not stopping.
No.
We're going to keep rolling along. So thanks for tuning in and finding out what's going on in Ward 4 and all the wards in the city of Las Vegas.
Sounds good, and we'll have you back in 6 weeks with another update. That's a packed show. We got a lot going on. So sounds good. I will too, hopefully. We want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on April 18th with Ward 6 City Councilwoman Michelle Fiore. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire now. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet. You know the address, kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.